Hello friends and welcome to another Friday here on the channel, which means it's time for another Demo Day! This week we're discussing the science of horror games in the true style of MatPat and the game theorists. Okay, so technically that's not a demo, but I did do the Outlast demo earlier this week, so I think we can let this one slide. Now, we won't be talking about Outlast anyway. There isn't a lot of science to crazy demon-worshipping backwoods hillbillies. What we will do is talk about the horrifying, genetically altered monstrosities that haunt our dreams, like the atom users of Bioshock, or basically every monster in the Resident Evil franchise. Could any of these beasts be created in real life? Spoiler alert, probably not. To be fair, if you really consider how much it would take to turn a human into a tyrant, you'd know no human would ever be able to survive that. Any hoozle, you may be wondering, with all the advancements in modern science, and all the hubbub around GMOs, what do you mean we can't create a terrifyingly deformed former human creature? I know, it's disappointing. The problem is the misconception as to what a GMO actually is. I mean, technically speaking, dogs are GMOs. Years of selective breeding have given people control over the look, behavior, and purebredness of the animals, which could be considered genetic modification. But let's look at something more along the lines of the genetic modification we might see in a video game, shall we? For this, we can look to gene therapy, a practice in medicine looking to correct genetic diseases. The idea behind gene therapy is actually very simple. Block the action of the gene causing the problem by replacing it with a non-faulty gene. Doctors have experimented with different delivery systems for this new gene, one of which is via virus. So, score one for Resident Evil on that. Actually, what makes the virus so effective is that viruses have no DNA replication system of their own, so they infect host cells to replicate the DNA for them. The viruses used in gene therapy are modified to contain the replacement gene. The gene is replicated in the host cell, and the virus degrades, integrating the new gene into the host cell's DNA. Of course, gene therapy isn't nearly a permanent solution. Sometimes the therapy doesn't take in the cell, sometimes the immune system will attack the altered cell, the cell may undergo apoptosis, otherwise known as programmed cell death, and gene therapy can only replace one gene at a time, so it's ineffective against multi-gene disorders. This last hurdle is another reason why we won't be in danger of a genetic mutant zombie apocalypse anytime soon. You would have to seriously alter the DNA to create a monster, and you couldn't do that one gene at a time. I mean, maybe you could, but who has years to spend on that? Not to mention that the systems of the body are all interconnected, so changing one gene can imbalance every system in the body, which, far from creating a sharp-clawed beastman, would probably induce an increasingly weakened state, leading to, well, death. Now I hear you. You're shouting, "But Janky, what about the ear mouse?" For those of you not familiar, there's a popular picture circulating the internet of a mouse with what appears to be a human ear growing out of its back. Hate to burst your bubble, but that's not genetic modification. Scientists built the ear out of reprogrammed stem cells from cows to produce the cartilage and plastic tubing to form the shape. The crafted ear was then implanted into the back of a mouse, and the cells just grew. The mouse didn't produce the ear on its own. So, maybe genetic engineering can't produce the creeping creatures of Resident Evil or even an ear mouse, but it does have some pretty spectacular applications. So, to end on an up note, here are some bunnies that received a bioluminescent gene from a jellyfish that makes them glow in the dark. Aw, glow in the dark bun buns. Definitely a game I would play. Hope you like the theory, and MatPat, from a fellow Ohioan, I love what you do and keep doing you. And until next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. I'm going to have to cut so much of this out. Oh my god, we'll get there. Oh, that's gonna be a whole rant unto itself. Oh look, a room full of explosives.
Oh, that got silly real fast.
Fiddlesticks is the worst.
What? Indeed. But yeah, that's my reaction too.
Thanks for stepping on my face. Here's the 3 gold. People here are weird. So, thanks for watching. and I will see you next time.